Hello, Facebook fans, YouTube fans. We're talking about CW keys today here at DX Engineering, and we have a CW expert on today as part of the DX Engineering team. You may have talked to him on the phone, you may have gotten emails from him. It's Jeff N5TJ, also known to the DX Engineering faithful as TJ. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Tim. Pleasure to be with you today.
It's great to have you. Jeff, let's talk about how, if somebody is just thinking about CW, maybe getting started or wanting to go beyond a straight key, let's talk about CW keys today.
Yeah, Tim, I appreciate that. And, I think it's with CW keys, there are so many choices out there. And I think this is one of these things we talk with people about, what are the best headphones to wear? Well, it depends on you and what feels best for you. There are a lot of paddles out there from straight keys to, the old bugs and paddles, just different varieties. So there's a lot out there to choose from with people. And, on the webpage, we've added another line recently from Italy, Bagali. There's a lot of choices for people to look at.
So, let's take a look at maybe one of the most popular of all time keys, the Venture BY1.
Venture BY1. Yeah, I've had the BY1. Boy, that's been back probably 45 years that Venture's been in business there. Venture, solid paddle design, 2-lever, it's an iambic style. That one is spring loaded. So one of the things that's become maybe a little more common these days is magnets for the tension. And this one has the long spring around the top. And you can adjust the spacing for the dips and the DAWs. This is a 3-wire connection. And one of the things, versus back when we got started in radio, Tim, you needed a separate box to send CW, a keyer, if you will. And nowadays, every modern radio has that built in. It's just a matter of connecting up the radio with the cable and then getting the menu settings correct in your radio, whether it's a Kenwood or a Yaesu or an ICOM, which we can help you with on that. That's very straightforward.
And these show up frequently too on, QRZ and QTH in used, flea markets, etc.
Yes.
But I would say, probably one of the most popular. How about this Vibraplex iambic? Do you see that up on the screen?
Yeah, the Vibraplex. Obviously, the name, if you've been in the hobby for any period of time, or Vibraplex goes way back into the early days of CW with bugs or mechanical bugs and telegraphy. With Scott there, who was on before W4PA, and Vibraplex has a whole host of products that they make as well, from paddles to, again, bugs, large, small. Another solid choice out there, different color combinations and things like that.
Here's the Vibraplex straight key, but it's a deluxe. Boy, does this look nice.
It is beautiful. And that's one of the things I think you'll find as you look at paddles. I mean, some of these are, they're functional, but you also get designs that are very, nice to look at and kind of collectible, what the materials are made of and the color combination. That's one of the things that you'll see as you look through the paddles and the brands. And sometimes they'll offer the same model in, like a black base or a chrome base like that.
So, here's a little fancier BY1, that the silver base.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, again, all the same keying mechanism. As far as how it sends CW, it's really, we're getting into aesthetics and how things look. And, I've got paddles, I've got one that's a German paddle, a friend who came to visit with us, Joe DL4CF years ago, 30 plus years ago, still have that paddle and still use it. So I have several, this is probably my only, I would say, collectible item in the hobby that I've kind of gone to. And rotate them kind of into service, in and out of time. And, they feel a little different. Generally, all of these keys or paddles for home use, you're looking for something that's got a big block on the bottom that's got some weight to it, so it doesn't kind of move around as you're, depending on how hard your hand is, so to speak, when you're keying.
And here's an MFJ economy key. I mean, this will get you on the air, Jeff.
It'll get you on the air. And the old straight key or J38 versions are out there. If you talk about, again, flea markets and things that you may see, you'll probably find a lot of different straight keys out there. And straight keys are good. I think we may have an article we'll post, as a reference here from On All Bands several years ago. Up to about 15 words a minute, a straight key will work for you. You get much faster than that, and the electronic paddle and key is going to be a better solution for you.
How about a single lever paddle? What do you think about this HA8KF single lever?
It's interesting. So I think, you've got single lever, which is, you're going back and forth. The other version is iambic. And for me, I learned iambic or dual lever where you can squeeze. But, I know people that are very accomplished CW and can send very quickly on the air, and they use a single lever. So I think this is one of these things that, it's what feels comfortable to you. There's not a right or wrong. There are choices, and you may feel more comfortable using one versus the other.
So, there just is so many keys in it. If somebody asked you on the phone, they call up and they want to talk about CW keys, Jeff, what kind of advice would you give them?
I mean, I think a good one, Tim, is, kind of what their goals, what they're trying to accomplish. If they've got a paddle today, if, not, then they've had the chance to try one. Members in their club, these are one of these things that people have that, they'd be sitting, or they have extras they can use. People can try to get comfortable with. Again, it's one of those things where what works or what is best for one person may not feel the best for another. Things like the width of the paddles is, different among them, or the length of the paddles, the spacing of that. And those are one of these things that, you may not know first half what works. I mean, for me, I can pretty much send on anything after all these years, but you may feel more comfortable with certain things more than other. But phenomenal hobby. It's a great mode. There are a lot of people still using CW. I mean, we obviously, with the newer things in the hobby, digital and whatnot, still a lot of activity on CW, and a great place to get at, especially if, for those of you like me that don't have a great antenna, it's easier to get through on CW than it is on voice.
And, that's a great point, because I hear, and I'm sure you do too, lots of parks on the air are using CW. They use FT8 too, but still a lot of activity, and it's not real fast. Maybe it's 10, 15 words a minute, but there are still, and it's extremely effective, with low power, small antennas, that kind of thing. Let's take a look at the chat room real quick, Jeff. We've got Dawn on from Philadelphia, Whiskey Juliet 3 United, and Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Golf is on. And our friend Gary, W9 X-Ray Tango, he says, some paddles are works of art. And that's very true. And KO4DDG says he's a heavy fister. We got Jason on with us today, Kilo Delta 2 Uniform Delta Radio. Jason says, I'm not a CW guy, but I find it interesting. Just noise to my head. But I've tried a couple of apps to try and learn, but it's not my brain power. In that case, how about a code reader to help Jason along? What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I think the code reader is a choice. I think there are a couple organizations that have, lead classes online for people that are at different levels. Two that come to mind there. And CW Ops and LICW that, help people to get involved in the hobby at different skill levels and kind of move up. And, I think their styles are maybe a little different, but, I've had people have really good success, with kind of joining one of those programs and getting active in CW and increasing their proficiency.
Right. Just Google Long Island CW, and they have really great starter programs that are on the internet. It's free. And you start with nothing, and you go all the way up. And so it's really good. So Jason, don't give up. I think, it can be a lot of fun. Don says he has a Vibraplex brass racer, bought it in the 90s with a clear cover, and it looks and works like new. And Jason commented, he said, I may have to buy one to have, but not sure. I will try to learn. Jason, give it a shot. Like I said, some of these online internet learning things are really, really good. Our friend K3LR from the DX Engineering team, Kirk says, thanks, Jeff, for all of the QSOs. with the Alpha Delta 4 Echo Bravo mobile station during the Tennessee QSO party last weekend. TJ's operating ability on CW and phone ranks among the best of the very best. So tell us about the Tennessee QSO party and your CW operating there, Jeff.
Yeah, Tim's good question. I hadn't planned necessarily. It was kind of a bit under the weather. It was a rainy Sunday. What better way than to spend your afternoon on CW? And from Texas to Tennessee, it's a good hop. And with Kirk and Jim driving through, I think it was 400 miles and however many counties they were in, they were easy to spot. So I kind of got hooked on it. Made a couple hundred contacts. Those QSO parties are great with the rovers and the mobiles that are out activating from county to county. So I had a really good time kind of chasing them along. I know the Texas QSO parties on a couple weekends. So it's a good activity to get on and work your CW, and the weekends are a lot of fun. Those guys did a phenomenal job.
And there's this Worked All County Award. I think there's like 3,000 counties in the U.S., and many guys have done it not only once but twice, 3 times.
Yes,
that kind of thing. That's a big project to work all counties, right?
It's a big project. It's not one that I've taken on, but you are correct. And I think guys will do it once, they'll do it again. And similarly, you've got people that go out and mobile operate and go to counties that are maybe not as rare. And these county hunter or these mobile QSO parties or state QSO parties are very popular for those county hunters to operate because you got a lot of activity. And that's one of the goals. So a lot of fun.
Yeah, and every weekend, you go to the WA7 B&M contest calendar and just Google contest calendar, comes right up. And there are so many operating events. But what is impressive, and I'm going to go back to, Parks on the Air, Jeff, every day.
Yes.
The bands are, thank God for the activity from Parks on the Air, because that is, it's really special. Every day there's guys out activating and chasing both ways. And the Parks on the Air website keeps track of all that. I mean, it's really cool.
It is. The only thing I would add on that one is for CW paddle, a big, heavy, 3-pounder is maybe not what you want to take on POTA. There are other versions out there that are smaller, that are kind of meant for those kind of more portable operations. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're a POTA activator, which you already know.
Well, weight and, all those things come into play. But and some of these SOTA guys, the Summits on the Air, like N6AN does, and I know you keep track of what Dave's doing. Ron is on from the Philippines, November Victor 5 Hotel. It's real early in the morning over there. Jason says, I'm waiting on my radio to come back from Yesu. It stopped putting out power. Not sure why. I needed to get my roof tower mounted. So Jason is waiting on the radio to come back. I'm sure Yesu's going to take good care of you, Jason. Jeff and I and the rest of the DX Engineering team have lots of great experiences with Yesu radios doing tremendous jobs. And so I'm sure you'll be excited once you get that going again. And Jeff, how's 6 meters been? I know you've been working on figuring out all these grids.
It's been a little slow. Recently I would say, the ARRL September VHF is this weekend. So, there'll be a lot of activity. For me, a little bit slowed down, using a little bit smaller antenna now, but still enjoying it. But, we're in that kind of seasonal change where we get from the sporadic E, we'll get the trans-equatorial now as the sun kind of gets over the equator. So, it'll be a good opening to South America. But this weekend, people should get on. You never know what's going to show up in the event this weekend. And that's a band where, propagation and conditions and working stuff. Every band has its, peculiarities, but boy, 6 meters is one that's even got more than most. And you got to have some patience.
Right. And of course, FT4, FT8, lots of activity there on 6 and 2 and even 70 centimeters. But don't forget to check out Meteor Scatter. Don't forget to check out CW and SSB during the ARRL September VHF contest. Jeff, thanks so much for coming on today. It's always a joy. And if you have questions about CW, you can always call into DX Engineering, ask for TJ or any of the guys, K3LR, Michael, Dave, K Delta Victor, Kirk, K4RO, all the, the DX guys are going to be able to help you make good choices for your CW key. Thanks to all of you for watching today. Thank you, Jeff. And we'll see you next time here at DX Engineering. Until then, 73.